E aí? Pô, óculos escuro, cara, porque, velho, o sol ele tá numa hora que. Pô, tá incomodando, tá ligado? Então vamos lá, brother. Eu acho que aqui vai ter que ser hoje solamente. Solamente anquisitos, né? Haja vista os nossos 30 cards, e tem bastante cards de ontem, né? Que foram estudados. Que foram estudados pela primeira vez, né? Eu tô olhando pra lá, como se a câmera tivesse aqui. A câmera tá aqui, porra. Só que, tipo, não é foda. O cara vai fazer aí. Se eu acabar em menos de meia hora, eu leio um artigo. Se não, o artigo vai ficar pra mais tarde. Na verdade, eu deveria ler o artigo independente do tempo que demorasse, mas. Eu que mando. And help you become wealthy. And helped you become wealthy. And helped you become wealthy. E te ajudou, né? E ajudou você, e te ajudou a se tornar wealthy, não. A se tornar rico. Mas eu tô ligado que o wealthy, ele é mais do que o rich, né? Se você é rich, você tem dinheiro. Se é wealthy, você é o cara que paga a pessoa que tem dinheiro. Tipo isso, né? É a mesma coisa, talvez, o Brasil, o cara é rico, o cara aqui é milionário. Mas no Brasil, mas nos Estados Unidos também tem, né? Nos Estados Unidos, em inglês, é millionaire, né? Não sei exatamente. Não sei muito bem, mas eu sei que o wealthy é mais que rich. Ele tentou extrair algumas informações da testemunha relutante. He tried to wring some informations out from the reluctant witness. Eu não sei se é from ou é of the.
He tried to wring some information out of the reluctant witness.
Out of the. Então, he tried to wring some information out of the reluctant witness. He tried to wring some information out. What? He tried to wring some information out of the reluctant witness. De novo? Vamos de novo, né? O menino tímido achou difícil fazer novos amigos. Então, the shy boy found it difficult to make new friends.
The shy boy found it difficult to make new friends.
It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally.
It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally. It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally.
It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally.
It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally. As primeiras frases vêm difícil mesmo. O cara chegar já falando assim. It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally. Equally, caralho. It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally. It doesn't matter. All will be judged It doesn't matter. All will be judged equally. Porra! E não importa. Isso não importa. Todos serão julgados igualmente. Ela continuou a alcançar grande sucesso em sua carreira. Então, she went on to... She kept, ou she went on, mas eu acho que é went on nesse caso. Alcançar grande sucesso. She went on to achieve great success. Então, she went on to achieve great success in her career.
She went on to achieve great success in her career.
Seu compromisso com a conservação do meio ambiente é admirável. Então, his commitment with environmental conservation, it's admirable.
His commitment to environmental conservation is admirable.
No entanto, foi seu pensamento convergente que o permitiu pegar essas ideias amplas. Então, however, was his convergent thinking that allows him to take these broad ideas.
However, it was his convergent thinking that allowed him to take these broad ideas. I want to get to know my new colleagues.
I want to get to know my new colleagues. Então, eu quero conhecer melhor meus novos colegas, né? Quero conhecer meus novos colegas, quero conhecer melhor. Get to know, conhecer melhor. Se você get to know someone, você conhece bem essa pessoa. Se você só know someone, você conhece de vista. Eles assumiram um compromisso de longo prazo um com o outro ao se casarem. Então, they made, né? They made a long-term commitment with each other by getting married.
They made a long-term commitment to each other by getting married.
Ele visitou o cantão na Suíça conhecido por suas paisagens pitorescas. Então, he visited the canton in Switzerland, known by its picturesque landscapes. Então, he visited the canton in Switzerland, known by his picturesque landscapes. Não, he visited the canton in Switzerland, known by its picturesque landscapes.
He visited the canton in Switzerland known for its picturesque landscapes.
And reached a kingdom in the sky.
And reached the kingdom in the sky. And reached the kingdom in the sky. And reached the kingdom in the sky. E alcançou e chegou, né? Chegou a um reino no céu. Chegou a um reino no céu.
And will he be your heir?
And will he be your heir? Yes, he will be my heir. Will he be? Yes, he will be. Will he be? He will be. Trocou o will com he. And will he be your heir? E será ele seu herdeiro? E ele será seu herdeiro? E será ele seu herdeiro? O retiro na montanha oferecia vistas deslumbrantes da zona rural ao redor. Então, the mountain retreat offered breathtaking views from the surrounding countryside.
The mountain retreat offered breathtaking views of the surrounding countryside.
Ai, não é from, cara. Tô botando from. O from é para, Arthur. Porra, o from é para. É de um lugar pro... Não, é de, na verdade, né? Ou é para também, sei lá. Mas não tem nada a ver. É da. É da. Se é da, é of the. Pô, tá vacilando. Ele fez uma pausa para aliviar a pressão mental e reduzir o estresse. Então, he made a pause to relieve the mental strain and reduce stress. Então, he made a pause to reduce. He made a pause to relieve the mental strain and reduce the stress. And reduce stress, na verdade. De novo, né? He made a pause to relieve the mental strain and reduce stress.
He took a break to relieve the mental strain and reduce stress.
Ah, que merda. É took, velho. É óbvio que é took. He took a break, velho. Took a break. He made a pause. Pelo amor de Deus. He took a break. Filho da puta. Ai. Embora estivesse cansada, ela continuou trabalhando até tarde para cumprir o prazo. Although, acho que nesse caso é though, mas não sei a diferença exatamente, depois eu até vou ver agora na sequência. Though she was tired, she kept working late to meet the deadline. Ela continuou trabalhando até tarde, she kept working late to meet the deadline.
Although she was tired, she kept working late to meet the deadline.
Entender? Vamos lá, fazer um bagulho aqui. Então vamos ver. Although. Perfeito. Embora, no entanto. Não tem grande diferença. Ah, tá aqui, ó. Embora. Tá. Though é mais pra no entanto, mas também é embora. Although é embora. Apesar de. Difícil, né? Difícil, tu não sai com uma conclusão. Entender. Por que eu fechei? Entender a natureza da nossa própria criatividade é como ter uma bússola em um mundo constante em mutação. Então, the nature of our own creativity is like having a compass in a world constantly in flux.
Understanding the nature of our own creativity is like having a compass in a world constantly in flux.
Com base em uma compreensão completa da psicologia do usuário e dos princípios de design. Então, based on a thorough understanding of user psychology and design principles.
Based on a thorough understanding of user psychology and design principles.
He stopped and raised his hand.
He stopped and raised his hand. He stopped and raised his hand. Ele parou e levantou sua mão. He stopped and raised his hand. Ele parou e levantou sua mão. Nossa, eu já até traduzi. Que legal isso, velho. Traduzir muito automático. He stopped and raised his hand. Nem lembrei. Ela costumava ser muito tímida, mas ficou muito confiante ao longo dos anos. Então, she used to be... Não, acho que aqui tem um esquema. Ser muito tímida. She used to be very... Acho que é isso. She used to be very shy. Yeah, she used to be very shy. But she became more confident over the years.
She used to be very shy, but she has become more confident over the years.
She has become. Used to be very shy, but she has become, tá? Sim, eu esqueci que tinha o presente perfeito. Eu falei became. Porque become é o verbo. Ó, eu já não botei. Tem que abrir de novo. Camole, para de fechar a aba, seu tanso. Esqueci o que eu ia fazer. Tornar-se. Tornou-se. Mas como tá nesse tempo verbal aí, esse verbo ele fica sempre no presente. Lógico. Ele tentou extrair algumas informações do testemunho relutante. Então, he tried to wring some information out of the reluctant witness.
He tried to wring some information out of the reluctant witness. I'm struggling with this project, but your input has been incredibly helpful. Thanks for your support.
I'm struggling with this project, but your input has been incredibly helpful. Thanks for your support. I'm struggling with this project, but your input has been incredibly helpful. Thanks for your support. I'm struggling with this project, but your input has been incredibly helpful. Thanks for your support. Agora sim. Então eu estou tendo dificuldades com este projeto, mas sua contribuição tem sido incrivelmente útil, helpful. Incrivelmente útil. Obrigado pela sua ajuda, pelo seu suporte, pelo seu apoio. Tá. Incrivelmente útil, obrigado pelo seu apoio. Apesar de enfrentar obstáculos, ela continuou sua jornada. Ele, cara, é impressionante, pô. Eu não sei, eu acho que eu tenho algum problema mental, só pode. Porque tá escrito ele, eu leio ela todas as fucking vezes. Apesar de enfrentar obstáculos, então. Despite facing obstacles, he went on with his journey.
Despite facing obstacles, he went on with his journey.
Despite facing obstacles, he went on with his journey. Então, o even though, ele também é, apesar de, não é? Opa. Agora, eu acho. Even when facing obstacles, despite. Even when facing obstacles, despite. Even though facing, eu acho que não. Tá, fechou. Aprendi alguma coisa. Isso não se limita às artes, mas se estende a várias profissões criativas, incluindo design. Então, this isn't limited to the arts, as it extends to various creative professionals. Eu falo profissionais, profissões. This isn't limited to the arts, as it extends to various creative professions, including design.
This isn't limited to the arts as it extends to various creative professions, including design.
But the people shouted with joy.
But the people shouted with joy. Ai, ai. Mas o povo gritou com alegria. Gritou de alegria. Embora tenha chovido, ainda aproveitamos nosso piquenique ao ar livre. Então, although it rained, we still enjoyed our esqueci, velho, meu Deus. Our picnic in the open. Eu sei que in the open pode ser usado como ar livre. Ai. Although it rained, we still enjoyed our
outdoor picnic.
Outdoor picnic. Cara, eu tenho a mesa mais desconfortável da face da Terra. Although it rained, we still enjoyed our outdoor picnic. Outdoor. O retiro na montanha oferecia vistas deslumbrantes da zona rural ao redor. Lembrei. Tá, então, the mountain retreat offered breathtaking views of the surrounding countryside.
The mountain retreat offered breathtaking views of the surrounding countryside. She seemed neither surprised nor worried.
She seemed neither surprised nor worried. Ela parecia nem surpresa nem preocupada. Neither nor. Ele fez uma pausa para aliviar a pressão mental e reduzir o estresse. Então, he took a break to relieve the mental strain and reduce stress. O trabalho exigente causou muita pressão mental a ela. Então, the demanding job caused a lot of mental strain to her. Or the demanding job causes her a lot of mental strain.
The demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain.
The
demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain.
The demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain. Caused. The demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain. Eu preciso de um de novo aí. Obrigado. Embora tenha enfrentado desafios, ele nunca desistiu dos seus sonhos. Então, que complicou, velho. Já são 20 minutos. E ainda tem. Ah, tem 7 cartões. Embora tenha enfrentado desafios. Então, although. Although he has. No, although he had. Although he had faced. He had faced challenges. He never gave up of your dreams. Although he had faced
Though he faced challenges, he never gave up on his dreams.
though he faced challenges. Embora tenha enfrentado desafios, though he faced challenges, he never gave up on his dreams. Yeah, on his dreams, gave up on. Gave up on. Essa aqui ficou ruim, hein? Gave up on, Arthurito. Gave up on his dreams. Though he faced challenges.
Though he faced challenges, he never gave up on his dreams.
Though he faced challenges. Isso aqui foi difícil. Ela decidiu sair para correr, mesmo que estivesse frio lá fora. Então, she decided to go for a run. He decided to go for a run. Não fecha a boca. He decided. Aí quando é ela, eu falo he. Mano, lê a frase, cara. Lê a frase. She decided to go for a run. Fechei a boca. She decided to go for a run. Mesmo que estivesse frio lá fora. Even it was cold outside. Even though it was cold outside. Acho que é só o even da. Even it was cold outside. Acho que só o even resolve. Então, she decided to go for a run.
She decided to go for a run, even though it was cold outside.
Even though, não existe só even. É necessária mais pesquisa para entender o escopo completo do problema. Então, further research is required to understand the full scope of the issue.
Further research is required to understand the full scope of the issue.
Ela teve que torcer a toalha molhada antes de pendurá-la para secar. Essa é legal. Então, she had to wring out the wet towel before hanging it to dry.
She had to wring out the wet towel before hanging it to dry.
She had to wring out the wet towel before hanging it to dry. Ela costumava ser muito tímida, mas ficou mais confiante ao longo dos anos. She used to be very shy, but she has become more confident over the years.
She used to be very shy, but she has become more confident over the years.
She has become. Embora tenha chovido, ainda aproveitamos nosso piquenique ao ar livre. Então, although it rained, we still enjoyed our outdoor picnic.
Although it rained, we still enjoyed our outdoor picnic.
O trabalho exigente causou muita pressão mental a ela. Então, the demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain.
The demanding job caused her a lot of mental strain.
Embora tenha enfrentado desafios, ele nunca desistiu de seus sonhos. Então, though he faced challenges, he never gave up on his dreams.
Though he faced challenges, he never gave up on his dreams.
Ela decidiu sair para correr, mesmo que estivesse frio lá fora. Então, she decided to go for a run, even though it was cold outside.
She decided to go for a run, even though it was cold outside.
Porra, lá pra dar zoom, velho. Bora, porra! Muitos dias, hein? Barbaridade. Ah, 25, vamos no artigo, vai. Não, artigo aqui que não buscar nada. Cara, eu já paguei a assinatura que faz tempo disso aqui, eu não sei. Será que tá renovando todo mês? Automático deve estar, né, Arthur? Débito automático. Ah, depois eu vejo isso. Porra, tô pagando aí o bagulho, nem achando que... Want to upgrade your brain? Stop doing these 7 things immediately. Não. The Artful Cop. How to reinvent your dreams. Little boys often want to be like their fathers. Gosto de ser igual aos seus peidos. Such was the case with my dad. He longed for a military career like his father, Coronel. Não sei o que, David loved reading about. Cara, 9 minutos é foda, mas eu achei interessante, bicho. Ultimate Guide to Design White Cards. Designing memorable dashboards. How to trick your brain to love doing hard things. Here are 10 UX laws that will help you design great products. Vamos ver esse The Artful Cop aqui. How to reinvent your dreams. E aí, fazemos do jeito tradicional? Vamos lá. As principais palavras, as palavras que eu realmente acho que é muito importante eu saber, entender, eu vou lá. E é um julgamento muito meu. Então, aí eu vou no tradutor. Ou quando eu não souber uma palavra, que por causa que eu não sei dela, eu não entendi todo um contexto. Aí eu vou lá também. Agora, pronúncias, palavrinhas assim que eu vejo que simplesmente eu entendi o que é, mas não exatamente, eu vou deixar, porque senão não dá, tá? É um texto grande, senão não vai dar. E vou ser bem criterioso quando eu for escolher as palavras, porque senão já não senão o cara fica nessa perfeição, o cara não aprende nada. Little boys often want to be like their fathers. Such was the case with my dad. He longed, por exemplo, né, for a military career like his father. Colonel John Weiss. Dad loved reading about history, especially the battles and wars that shaped our world. Dad was a consummate bookworm. Whenever he misbehaved, his parents punished him by taking away his books and forcing him to go outside and play. Nossa. Ai. Undeterred, he would convince other kids in the neighborhood to engage in some make-believe battle for a kingdom or country. Pode crer. That was completing his degree in business administration at New York University during the World War II. He signed up with the United States Marines, anxious to begin his military career. But there was a problem. He had a heart murmur. Isso aqui, por exemplo, talvez você vai entender. A childhood vote with human. Tá, isso aqui eu vou precisar entender. Isso aqui eu vou precisar entender. Deu pra perceber que é um problema de coração. Assim não vai, né? Sopros cardíacos? Caralho, que viagem. A childhood vote. Ó, tipo... Ai. cruciais para eu entender o sentido. Luta de infância. With rheumatic fever damage his heart. Ok. Rheumatic fever, não sei o que é, mas ele dá pra entender que isso é um problema de saúde. Causing a minor é minor. Bom, foda-se. Depois eu vejo isso. Minor, eu vou com a minha primeira opção. Minor heart murmur. It didn't affect his physical fitness, but the Marine Corps was strict about medical requirements. Determined to embark on a military career, Dad took a drastic step. He bribed his doctor. He bribed. Por exemplo, he bribed. Não entendi, se eu não entendo isso aqui, subornou.
Bribed.
He bribed his doctor. I wanted to be a cartoonist when I grew up. I wanted to be like my father growing up too. But it wasn't his professional career that I chose to emulate. It was his artistry. Dad was an accomplished draftsman and weekend oil painter. I used to watch him as he sketched amazing pictures and painted beautiful canvases. He would often explain what he was doing and offer pointers. Thus, I began drawing and fell in love with artwork. As a boy, I tried my hand with oil paints, but felt they were messy. Also, I just liked brushes, which lacked the kind of precise control I enjoyed when I sketched in pencil or pen. So I mostly stuck with drawing. Teachers in grade school recognized my creative talent, and I consistently received top grades in art classes. Then, during my middle school years, I discovered editorial cartoons in newspaper. I barely understood the politics, but I love it. The elaborate, finely drawn cartoons. Okay. Political cartoonists like blah 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 became my heroes, and I closely studied their style. Before long, interessante essa palavra, hein? Before long, pelo que eu entendi, depois de algum tempo, ou depois de muito tempo, muito antes, nossa, lógico, before, né, Arthur? Mas hoje tu tá rouco mesmo, hein? Quase, acho que eu até cortei meu dedo aqui, porque vocês não sabem, mas o que tá segurando o coisa é uma faca dentro de um vaso, que é a coisa mais comprida que tem aqui pra segurar. Aí, ó. E até desconectou a câmera, que bacana, né? Puta que me pariu. Meu gato pôs o U, o gato não põe o, tá que pariu de novo. Caralho. Aí, ó, aqui já ia restart vídeo, check the app. Aqui já fudeu. Aí, voltou. A rocha. Oh, meu pai. Eu tô travado ali. Ai, meu Deus do céu. Que coisa séria. Só um instantinho, hein. Não vou nem pausar, porque vai ser rápido. Aí. Tá lá o homem novo. Tomar no cu, mano. Enchendo meu saco, não. Bora. Vamos lá. Então, cartunistas políticos like Fulano e Ciclano become my heroes and I closely studied their style. Before long, então, muito antes, I discovered other cartoonists I admired, like beleza. I began drawing cartoons about my family and friends, and in high school, I became the editorial cartoonist for the campus newspaper. I often got in trouble with my teachers because I was dawdling instead of paying attention. Paying attention in the class. Cartooning became my world. I told my parents that I wanted to be a cartoonist when I grew up. What do you do when your dream is denied? You ever have a dream when you wish you wish? They say if you want to be here, God, They say if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Legal, ó. Life often throws curveballs, and what we think we wasn't, and when we think we want isn't always what we get. What? And what we think we want isn't always what we get. Yet somehow, most of the time, brother, não fode, porra, não fode. Tá acabando aqui o bagulho, vai tomar no meio do cu, entendeu? Porra. Encheu o saco, bicho. Não vai fazer não, ô? Vai trabalhar? Aí. Amado. Um quadradinho aqui, né? Então vamos lá. What do you do? Já falamos. Yet somehow, most of the time, it all works out. That successfully bribed his doctor and was given a clean bill of health. He completed Marine Corps both camp and went on to become a drill sergeant. Then he was selected for officer candidate school, but there was a hitch. He had to undergo another medical exam. This time they caught their heart murmur, and Dad's military career was sidelined with an honorable medical discharge. That was, to pardon the pun, heartbroken. To pardon the pun, acho que eu não sei, eu acho que eu entendi. What do you do? Esse what do you do que é difícil, cara, porque tu vê um monte de palavra assim, what do you do, e o que é isso? What do you do when your dream is denied? Meu Deus. How do you reinvent yourself? A good place to start is by examining the details of your original dream. The things about it that excited you, and once you have identified those qualities or specifics, consider other ways you can experience those things. My father spent several years finding success in the business world, but he longed for a greater sense of order and responsibility, the very things that attracted him to a military career. So he applied for law school. Puta, coitado. It wasn't easy. He still worked during the day and took night classes. On the day of his state bar exam, he was ill with a fever and hives. And yet he passed his exam. Eventually that became an administrative law judge. Aí o cara mandou bem. Deciding multi-million-dollar cases. He once told me that he regretted not being able to have a military career, but he found great satisfaction and purpose in his legal career. Sometimes we find our calling, and sometimes our calling finds us. Who you choose to be. Meu Deus, lê, Arthur. The day I told my parents I wanted to be a cartoonist when I grew up, they smiled back at me. That's nice, honey, my mother said. Dad invited me into his office and asked me to sit down. Not a good sign, I thought, and then he spoke. Johnny, you are a fine cartoonist, and your mother and I are proud of the artwork that you create. But I think you would be wise to continue your education, to go to university and find a solid career that you can rely on to make a living. Because it's very difficult to make a living as a cartoonist, even when you are talented. That'll let me chew mastigando, não sei como é que pronuncia, on his words. So you don't think I should be a cartoonist? I asked. No, by all means, continue drawing cartoons. That said, adding, but have something to fall back on. I would hate to see you put all your eggs in the cartooning, and then if it didn't work, what will you do? He had a point. I read about. Aí agora eu não sei se é passado ou se é presente, né? Porque se o Red tem essa, eu acho que I read about I read about a lot of cartoonists, and the common theme for most of them was the lack of editorial cartoonist position and the poor salary. Most had other jobs to help pay the bills. Growing up, I used it to enjoy the action and adventure of police shows on television. Programs like Hill Street Blues, Starsky's blah blah blah, Adam blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. I knew some of the shows were less realistic than others, but I became fascinated with the law enforcement profession. A sheriff deputy spoke to my high school government class and further piqued me interested in police work. I decided to pursue a degree in criminal justice administration. To pursue. My dad was pleased because he wanted me to have a good life. Maybe he hoped to steer me into the legal profession and become an attorney, but it was not to be. Mas não era para acontecer, acho que é isso, né? I went on to both university and graduate school, earning a master's degree in criminal justice administration. As I embarked on my law enforcement career, I found endless ways to incorporate my creativity and artwork. I even moonlight with local newspaper as a cartoonist. I even moonlighted with local newspapers as a cartoonist. Não entendi. During my uniformed patrol days, the local media did a story about my cartooning. Later on, when I was promoted to não sei o que, the country newspaper again did a story about me, dubbing me the Renaissance Man. I discovered that I enjoyed my law enforcement career. It allowed me to help people in our community and provide opportunities to infuse a bit of creativity and artistry into my job. I became the artful cop. It is not as much about who you use it to be, as it's about who you choose it to be. I moonlighted as an editorial cartoonist for a few more years, but by then newspapers were starting to do não sei o quê. The age of the internet, social media, and other online diversions hurt the profession of editorial cartooning. More and more cartoonists were laid off. Some found work line, but most had to pivot to other jobs. I was glad I listened to my father. I spent the last 10 years of my career serving as police chief. Chef. But even in that high pressure position, I found opportunities to draw cartoons in letters, notes, and around the police department. Best of all, I was able to retire in my 50s and dive into my writing and creative interests full time. You get to choose who you want it to be. It may not be your first choice, and you may have to do some reinvention. The key is to find the underlying qualities or features that appeal to you, and then identify other professions or pursuits that may be similar. My dad didn't get to have a military career, but being a jurist gave him a similar sense of responsibility, structure, and order that he found attractive in the military. An order that he found attractive. It's an order ali que me pegou, man. I didn't become a career cartoonist, but I was able to use my cartooning and creativity to great effect in my law enforcement career. My cartoons of fellow officers brought much needed levity in an often serious and dangerous profession. And it showed community members that cops can have a sense of humor. They hope that we can find another way. I have been reflecting on this notion of reinvention. I know a military man who had a tough time transitioning to civilian life. I know a military man who had a tough time transitioning to a civilian life. He was put off by the lack of structure and professionalism in the initial civilian jobs he undertook. Eventually, he found a position that took advantage on his past military skills. He was able to reinvent himself. I have a federal agent buddy who retired, but he wasn't ready play golf the rest of his days. So he put himself through a polygraph school and now runs his own business. He reinvented himself and found a way to continue serving directly in the law enforcement profession. Reinvention requires both of kind of death and desire to keep living, and so at its core, reinvention is inextricably, não sei, linked to hope. The hope that we can find another way, take another shape. Wherever we find ourselves in life, it is never too late to pivot. Mudar, né, trocar, eu entendo o que é pivot, só não sei como pronunciar. Never too late, é a terceira vez que aparece, eu acho. Never too late to explore the underlying qualities or things that excite you and apply them in... Never too late to explore the underlying qualities or things that excite you and apply them in some new positions or pursuit. My law enforcement career required a great deal of writing. It began with police and staff reports, but as my responsibility and rank grew, I found myself writing speeches and articles for the local press. I discovered that I loved writing. I began a blog in my off time and started publishing my stories, essays, and articles in various online platforms. After a few years, as my writing abilities improved, I started to build an audience. I began publishing books. I decided to retire a few years earlier and reinvent myself as a writer. How about you? If one or more of your dreams didn't work out, don't give up. Find the things within those dreams that excite you, the qualities, skills, and futures. Then explore other careers, jobs, pursuits, or creative passions that may share some of those qualities in your original dreams. This is how you reinvent your dreams. My dad did it by moving from a denied military career to a fulfilling career as a jurist. I did it by incorporating cartooning and later writing into my law enforcement career. My federal agent buddy did it by using his past professional skills as an interviewer in his new patient for polygraphy. You can do it too. It's never too late to reinvent your dreams. Before you go, I'm John P. Weiss. I write elegant stories and essays about life. If you enjoyed this piece, check out my free weekend newsletter. Legal, cara. Não vou, mas te agradeço. Gostei do teu artigo. Artigo comprido, mas interessante. Bye.